Ooh, hello, hello, hello. Oh, and I just went
Whoa,
right down. Ah, there it is. Boom. And
what
we can just
happened?
fade this out. We're fading it out.
What broke?
Yeah, when you make new things, you got to break the old ones. Welcome, everybody, to Art First. Happy Friday, Brian. Welcome to everybody who's tuning in. How are you, dude?
Oh, doing good. I think since the last show we did, we've lost a few NFT platforms.
We
I think
have.
we lost Foundation, we lost Nifty Gateway, we lost FX Hash.
Oh, gosh.
So, it's a changing landscape every time we see each other.
It really is, and it's not always like I feel like it could be like a week in between shows or a month in between shows, and we're still having the same conversation. 2026 is a tough year, but you know what? For all of that's going on, and I know people are pulling things off of different places, and self sovereignty is becoming more and more apparent for everybody, which I think was always a good thing. I think I am still seeing some pockets of hope and inspiration. And there's things that people are looking forward to. Like ahead of the show, we're talking about Lisbon's coming up, Marfa later in the year, NFT NYC is still a thing. So I think it's obviously it's a tougher year, but there's still glimmers of hope, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're still seeing a bunch of big successful drops as well.
Yeah.
Han had a great drop recently, and uh, a nice day. Jules has a big one coming up. We just
Yep.
saw a couple of skulls of Sam Spratt sell for like
A lot.
300K plus.
Yeah.
So things are, and in general, the NFT volume of market entirely with PFPs and everything is up. So there
Right.
is this feeling, I think, across the board that we found a bottom of this, and now people are kind of cycling back in. We'll see how it
Yeah.
goes. But I think for as much chaos and uncertainty, it does have a little bit of optimism happening right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like a lot of that optimism is driven by art, which is always nice. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for to be doing this again. It's been a little bit since our last one. I'm excited for our guest today. I've admired his work for years now, and even though he has evolved his style over time, he's definitely still very much been consistent in the feelings that are evoked in all of his work. Very synthetic, pop, but also nostalgic from like the 50s and the 80s, and sort of a past future version of
Yeah,
life on the
noir.
timeline that didn't exist. But yeah, noir, like that's sort of like noir synth, or it feels like the right
Yeah.
vibe. Very excited. And so I think without, further ado, we'll just bring him onto the stage. Welcome everybody. Louis Dazy to the stage. How are you doing, bud?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I really like the way you described my work. I think there was like the really right amount of words to explain.
It's a very cool look. I think it's one of those things where every artist kind of especially when they're really good at connecting with people over time, they set more or less a style that they're kind of known for. And like I said, I know and we're going to go through your work and kind of show that evolution and process. But I think you picked a lane that that taps into something that everyone kind of like, it's like itching at the back of their head. You see it and you just go, that's really cool, and it feels like eerily familiar, and the darkness like brings you in. So I'm excited to talk about all that today.
Yeah, there's a lot of elements that I've added through the years into my visual language, and it feels like now even if I'm trying like new mediums, it always retains that kind of same vibe that I've built over the years.
What got you inspired to do like that kind of an aesthetic, that kind of look and feel?
I think it's kind of always been there. I think it's mostly because I watch a lot of movies, especially when I was a kid. It was like a lot of like 80s movies, 90s movies on VHS, and it was always like the feels of Blade Runner, that kind of vibe. And I don't know, it kind of stayed inside me until I could create something. So it was like the go-to. It was like evident. I don't know how to say it, but it's like just obvious to go that way and then try to explore this kind of visual language.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. I'll pull up your work here and we can kind of chat about it because it's really it's very, like I said, notable and very evocative of the noir here. Let's take a look at this. See that right there. Yeah, so and lots of glows and reds and dark tones.
Yeah.
You find yourself, obviously you find yourself drawn to that, but like, what is that about the color red that gets you like?
It's I don't really know because it's always kind of been my favorite colors ever.
Mm,
And it's just very like it's especially in the night you've got like this red neon, and it's always like kind of a glimmer of hope somehow. And it's just like the colors, the color in itself is just very easy to I don't know how to say, like it's very easy to look at, like
mm.
it draws attention obviously. um and yeah, I feel like it's just it's just really, I feel like anything that's red really warms me inside. So there you go.
I think it also, like, to me, it evokes like this like seedy underbelly, like red light district, and a lot of your works give off that like detective noir feeling. And so it's like, oh, this is the femme fatale in the bad area of town that's gonna be
Yeah,
the detective
yeah,
around.
yeah, true. And then like most neons are usually red, so like every time you're going out in the street, and then like most of the signs are red, and then it just feels like I just like the nighttime, so it felt like a really good way to like have it in my work at all times.
It
Yeah.
also feels very cinematic. Like each thing feels like it's coming from either one story or multiple movies, and it's just like you clipped out pieces or frames from those films.
Yeah, like I said, like movies is still like the medium I the content I watch the most, I would say. So it's like music, movies, and then the rest of art would say like digital art, paintings, and everything. But movies are like cinema is in the top one. So it's always, I've always loved like the way you could just have like just one frame, and then you could tell a whole story for it. And it feels like yeah, most of my photos are feels like they've been taken out of movies.
Yeah, on a technical level, what like so let's take a piece like this, um, what goes into the process of something like this?
Yeah, so this was like I would call this my second era. So this is when I started shooting film. So I started art with like basic graphic design and some 3D and After Effects as well.
More in this realm here.
Yeah, more yeah, exactly. This is some of my, I would say, like early years.
Hmm.
Um, I when I started, I like I taught myself into all of this, and I landed a job as an art director in a advertising agency, and it kind of like took away my passion for creating for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking to find an escape from this, and I didn't want to spend too much time behind the screen because this is what I was already doing on my day job. So I thought like photography could be cool, and especially with film photography, because I don't have to make too much research like post production with it. I just have to go out, shoot, and then there you go. So it was like a great way to escape from the screen and then just go out with my friends and then shoot outside. So this is film photography. These are double exposures. I don't know if you're familiar with like the technique, but it's basically taking two shots, two image on the same part of the film, and they overlay naturally like this. So this is a silhouette of a friend of mine that I shot when I was in Australia, and it was a neon that said coffee like few hundred meters after this, and then I just overlaid.
So this is all in camera.
Yeah, it's all in camera.
So I have a question then.
Yeah.
For a shot like this, or a roll of film, do you shoot the full roll of one and then rewind and shoot all the neon together? Or is it do one, rewind, do the next, and you like do it? You've thought it out in that moment.
Yeah, it's usually do one and rewind, because if you shoot the whole film and then rewind, it's not gonna be placed exactly where you want.
Yeah.
So this is always a always a shoot and then rewind, and shoot one frame then rewind, and then I always had like 2 or 3 cameras with me, just in case I didn't find the right thing to shoot after. So I was juggling with 2 or 3 cameras at the time, and then just waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity to make the right overlay. And I was always trying to remember what I shot, what was the last frame I shot on each.
So then when you're doing that, so it sounds like there's a fair amount of guesswork and sort of like happy accidents that are happening, serendipity involved in that, because you're not seeing what you shot last except for in your mind. Is that right?
Absolutely. It's there's a lot of, I would say there's a lot of like happy accidents, like you said. And actually, the way I found out about double exposures was a happy accident. I was shooting a friend's band live, and then I accidentally like pushed that little button that makes you do double exposures, and I realized when the film came out that it looked really cool. I didn't know I could do that. So after this, I became obsessed with doing double exposures. And then at the time back then in 2015, it wasn't really, film wasn't really popular. It was on the way back, but not there yet. And I think I was the only one like actually being a diehard double exposure creator. So
Yeah.
I mean, these are they're beautiful. And then so not that the actual gear fully matters, but like, so you said what kind of camera is this that has a double exposure built in, where it'll automatic, you press a button, it will rewind just a frame back?
No, basically it's the old SLRs. So anything from the one I shot this with is the Nikon F2. It's an old one from the 70s, and you could use like any other, like Canon AE1, some basics like this. And the way you do it is basically you take the shot, and there's a button behind the camera that you could use to rewind the film when it's fully done. When you press it and then you wind up to the next frame, it just doesn't move. So you take the next one exactly where you left it. And then the next time you wind up, it's gonna go to the next frame.
That's brilliant. Have you done more than double? Have you done the triple exposures? Have you tried other experiments like that going further, or does it get too muddy?
I think I did. I did had like triple exposures a few times, but it's just too messy at some point.
Yeah,
you just don't really understand what's going on, and it's just too much. So I think
when you're done, right? So like, you've taken the photos. I guess this is kind of 2 questions. One question is like, in terms of developing, are you developing them yourself? Are you sending them to a lab? And then how are you scanning them to get the resolution?
Yeah. So I've never been really interested in the process of developing my own film nor scanning. So I was just like shooting and then bringing it to the lab, and the lab would scan it as well. So yeah, that was just it. I've never really been interested. That was way too complicated for me. Like, there's way too much. I mean, I would have been a little bit, mad if I would just, burn or badly develop a raw, and I know the photos on it.
Sure.
It's definitely tricky.
Yeah,
I've only done black and white development.
Same.
Like too difficult for me.
Same. I've heard black and we've done black and white, but I've heard color is way harder.
Yeah, it's way different. So, and this is digital.
Why don't you tell us what are we looking at here?
So it's a portrait of a model. So this is what I would call my third era, I think. So this is when I switched from film to digital. And the reason why I did this is because I was a little bit tired of only doing double exposures on film, kind of got bored of it. So I just wanted to try new things. And also the rise of film photography being hype again got the prices to go like super expensive. And when I used to shoot, it was like only like $2-3 for a raw, and it was like $8 for scan and dev. So that was good. And then now it's way more than this. So yeah, I decided to move to digital, and this is at the time that I started to have my own studio, and so I could like actually build scenes that I had in mind that I wanted to shoot, so I could have like way more control over what I did, because previously it was more like happy accident, like we talked about. There was like a lot of organicness in the process, I would say, and this is fully controlled. So yeah.
Yeah, so this is controlled studio, where you've got props and you're bringing things in, you have room for to grow like that. And then are you doing all the lighting yourself?
Yeah. Everything's done by myself, and then the lighting's been done by myself as well. So I love doing this. Especially the lighting has always been my big thing. I really like playing around with the lights and then try to find the best the best way to tell a story through a shot, through the lighting.
Yeah, when it comes to even just subtle things like this lens flare, is that in camera using a filter, like a glamour filter, or how are you achieving that, or is that a post process?
I would say this one is post process, because it's way too dim to be caught by the lens. But some of them have been done in lens, because I have like these 4 stars filters that you put over, and it looks like very 80s, and there's a lot of like stars in the frame. That's pretty cool, but sometimes it's too much. So I think I done this one in post.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really like the details in this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the beauties also when you're putting the work on the blockchain, you can be able to put full renders up, and for people later who want to come in and really like get in there with the details. When you went to digital, obviously, digital has it's a lot cleaner, right? And so to achieve the same effects, what are you doing in terms of like grain or post processing once you go, because that you have a lot more control, but it's sort of like you really have to dial things in. What do you kind of do there?
So I think I mostly rely on the grain too, because I usually put a lot of grain on everything, because I just like the look of it, and then it's just very satisfying to my eye. So it is mostly just putting on some grain, contrast, and make the colors pop out a little bit, and then find the the right balance between the colors, so they kind of respond to each other.
Sure. Yeah, and I know that after I guess maybe your 4th era, if you want, you started adding motion and animation and very very cool ways that seem to loop very seamlessly. These sort of very short looping portraits. What can you tell us? Like, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so the whole process is, so the model is AI, so it's based on some of my work, and so it's an AI render from a model, and the layering that you see in the back is a scene that I've done in Blender, so it's full 3D, and then after this, the raindrops that are coming on the frame, I've been done in After Effects. So yeah, so it's like AI, then layered through 3D, and then after this, there's like a whole mixing everything in After Effects. And I really enjoy like when AI came out, I was really like eager to try the new tools and then see what could come out of it. And yeah, that was really cool. Like I really enjoyed this new research, and then new medium that I could use on my work. and we can still like can tell it's my same visual language though.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you went back to the roots of experimenting with 3D to
Yeah,
combine.
that was like
Yeah,
full
the
circle.
double exposure all builds together.
Yeah.
That's like full circle. So like I'm putting everything I know, everything I've tried as a medium in one thing. So it's pretty cool.
I love this piece because I got to curate it as part of my Click Create drop.
And did you get the card, Brian? Because I think
I
I
need the card. I have one. I have one card, but I don't know which one it is.
One. It might not be this one, but yeah, I have like these. Like I've made
Louis is ahead of the game with the cards.
Whoa.
collectible cards with. Wait, I'm trying to find
I
the right.
definitely have one of them.
Yeah, you have
Oh wow.
I'm sure you have
Wow.
one of them.
Wow. Hold up. Let me get that up there. Whoa. So tell us, I mean, like that just seems like next level. Like how are you doing cards, man?
So it's a printer. So when it was like 2 years ago, no, it was like 3 years ago. We started an artist collective with some friends from France. So like most of us were digital artists, and then one of them, Polygon, is always like working, with a holographic foil print, that kind of stuff. And they introduced us to what I think is one of the best print guy that you could find worldwide. And then this guy is doing the cards. He can do like crazy cool stuff with crazy printing techniques, and then so yeah, that's the story of the card.
No, that's okay. That's really exciting. I think that plays into just people's love of collecting in general, right? And like art cards as a thing, whether they're very high end professional like that, or if they're just like done on small card stock that gets mailed to people for like a blind box or a subscription that people can do with an artist. I think that's a really cool thing, especially when it's someone doesn't know where they're going to put it, or they don't have enough room, but they want to just have a little keepsake. So
yeah, exactly. Especially like they're boxed in like clear glass frame, so it's really cool. So it's a nice object that you can still like have, and then it's gonna get.
I want that big motel poster behind you. That's the one that's in my vault.
That's the one you have. It's actually a test print, because this one you can't really see it, but it's basically the background is printed on paper, and then the first part is printed on the clear plastic, so it's like transparent.
Oh, nice.
But it didn't come out that great. Like I thought it would be better, so I just kept it for myself. You can have it. If you want it, you can have it.
Oh man,
I'll take it.
That's awesome.
No, you've always been pushing it with how you're presenting your works in various ways.
Yeah,
you did lenticulars too, right?
I've done what?
Lenticulars, or that they move.
No,
have you done that yet?
I haven't done lenticulars yet.
That might be an evolution for you.
It'd be a good for this one that we're looking at on the screen right now.
Especially, right, because you could move from side to side and see it.
It could be. Yeah, this one could work totally with this. Yeah.
Yeah. What is this? Again, very cool that it's still with the reds, the blues, the feeling of being in your universe, but again, an evolution. You say fourth era, but I almost wonder if this feels like 4.5. Something else.
Like RoboCop vibes.
4.5. Yeah, totally. It's it's an AI render, and then I've done a lot of animating works over it. I've just there's a lot of post production. Like you could see, if you see like the original image, you would figure out. But I think you can tell. Most probably you guys can tell. And I know it's more of my, I would say, futuristic era. Like this, I was just more interested at the time for like very futuristic thing like Android and that kind of stuff, and I wanted to see how it would look with my own style on it. And I'm really, really proud of this one, because it's, I don't know, I feel like it's really cool, and the movement and everything. I really like when it loops so seamlessly like this. It's just so satisfying to watch
It
it.
is.
You can just watch it and then get lost into it. I like.
I love this new kind of pointillism effect that you've been using in your work in the past year or so.
Yeah, right. And it's called dithering, and like it's a bunch of different plugins, and then trying new stuff again. And I really love this new series that I've put out. So this one is, it's part of the new series I've released on Super Rare like 2 months ago. And it's still like the same style, but I wanted to have like something more, like a little bit cleaner, and something more, I would say, with I wouldn't say a message, but like more, what's the word in English for it? Like,
Conceptual.
yeah, more conceptual. This is that's what
Sorry about
I
that.
got some beats to go under the word.
Seriously, I don't know. I don't know why. That's cool, man. I think it's cool that you're experimenting and pushing yourself. I think that's one of the traps that people can get into in making art, especially when they find any kind of level of success with an audience. The fear of deviating or moving away from what people expect or already know. Do you have you have any advice for any creators out there who might be wrestling with that idea of feeling like boxed in but wanting to explore?
I definitely know the feeling, because I first started getting noticed and getting kind of famous, I would say, when I was doing double exposures. And when I stopped doing this, I like encountered like like less, how do you say, less reach, like less comments, like less comments on my work. So I knew that I was just saying like goodbye to a lot of people who were following me for this particular style of what I was doing only. But I don't know, it felt so good just trying new things that I'd rather like lose people on the way and then keep trying new stuff, because it's just so refreshing. And then like you said, at the end it's kind of, it goes like kind of full circle. Like I went back to the double exposures, but it was like 3D AI and then animation as well. So I know. Now at the time I'm actually into painting. So
Oh,
there's like, so this one goes with the
nice.
one.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, you'll bring that back up and we can see. Look at that.
That's
There you
great.
go. And then you can claim that when if you get this one.
Nice.
I've done quite a few. This one's a style a bit different, but
Ooh. Okay. I like
like
that.
I'm like having a really good time painting at the moment. It takes some time, and then it's the time away from the screen that makes me feel so good, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Meditative, and then I just really enjoy working on paintings at the moment.
What are you painting with? What materials are you using?
Acrylic.
Okay.
Yeah, because it feels like it's the easiest for now.
Yeah.
I wanted to try oil painting, but it really seemed like that's next level.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you have to have a lot more patience, and the process is a lot more pre-planned.
Yeah. I've only recently heard about fast drying oils. I've not done it. I'm in the acrylic boat right now, but I'm in the acrylic boat that also likes to use things to, slow down the acrylics, so it feels a little bit more like oil. That sort of like takes a little bit more time, so it's not so quick to dry. But very cool, man. Speaking of other art and other mediums, we're getting to that point in the show where we kind of do a little bit of show and tell, and kind of show off what we've either collected or like. But you guys think do a little show and tell?
Let's do it.
Let's run it. All right, here we go. Brian, can you hear me?
On my nose.
Can you hear me, Brian?
I can hear you.
Am I underwater or am I here?
No, you sound great.
Okay. Until I'm not, I'm here. This is the part of the show where each of us has brought work that we've either collected or just think is really cool from artists that we think deserve a bigger lift. And so we're going to share that. None of us have seen what each other has brought. And then we'll talk about it. But also at the end of the show, on our Twitter, Art First Show on Twitter, we share the links to all of these things that we're going to show with different artists, with Louis' work as well. And you can give love to everybody. So let's start this off today with somebody who has been featured on the show a handful of times, and happy to do it again today with Louis' first pick right here from The Mess. Once again on the show, we should get The Mess on the show. Why don't you tell us what we're looking at here?
So it's a really cool piece by The Mess. So it's an artist I've been following for a while, and then I just really love the style. It's just so unique, and the type of animation has got me wondering what is the process behind it. It feels like it's like done on iPad with Procreate, and then it's just a few frames, and then I don't know, there's really something really personal about the way she animates the eyes, and the movements is just so very, very unique. I could recognize this from miles away.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and we've seen, like I said, her work comes up quite often, and it's very, very easy to tell, but like it's there's somewhere in between the really clean technical work and then this fun, very whimsical and cartoony, yeah, and a lot of blur frames, a lot of smear frames. If for all the animation fans out there, like just these in betweens, and not and being very liberal with it, and like not hiding it. It's really cool to see.
Yeah.
For me, it's the animation of the eyes. Like the eyes double or triples whenever
Yeah.
the animal is moving, and it's just so like it's that little something that you find as an artist that it can be your signature for years, and then you can use it in anything, even if you change mediums at some point. You can it's so hard to find that one thing that makes it you in your art.
Yeah, I love smear techniques. There used to be like blogs dedicated to just pulling out the smear frames of like cartoons.
Yep. Like Cartoon Brew, I think did that
like
as well.
Tumblr used to have them, and
yeah.
The Mess is awesome. I mean,
yep. I'm gonna put it on there like I think I always do, man. That is good stuff.
It is good stuff.
All right, Bryan, you're up next, sir.
Did I pick?
What did you pick? Let's go from animation to animation. Let's do that. Let's go here to this throwback piece.
Yeah, so this is a throwback piece. Shout out to Perry Cooper. Shout out to King of Midtown, Clip Gallery, Vaja. With Nifty shutting down, I figured I would go back and look through some of the NFTs I withdrew and which ones kind of evoke memories and stuff. And like this one is a piece that was, I believe, given to people that came to an event, or maybe it was like an open edition that was for that event. But it mixes Perry's work, which is awesome, and also throws in a bunch of other artists that you can recognize, whether it's like Esla, I think I'm saying her name, and I'm just looking through it right now. You can just see all these. There's a.
It feels like it's Perry's work is phenomenal, and he's a master at 3D loops and long 3D loops. And seeing his work again, it brought back all the memories of like 2021, 22, because like his work was just everywhere, man.
It's for really sure. Cool. And so it was I don't know. I think a lot of people, as they withdrew their NFTs from that platform, got to kind of revisit old memories, hopefully positive ones. I think that it's wild to think it's been like 5 years since like this era. It feels like yesterday, but there is like you get nostalgia for it already.
Yeah, it's really phenomenal like that. Like it's yeah, I was withdrawing stuff and I was doing the same thing, just going back through. And then I was looking at the Nifty Gateway Omnibus where it was pulling all the things off and I was just watching them come through, like
Yeah.
just remembering where I was at different points in my life by seeing some of these very notable pieces go by. Very cool. Right. Here is a piece. Let's see. This is a piece I did not collect, but I thought was really cool, and especially because with Louis being on the show, I got into reds and blacks. Came into
Oh,
into
love
view.
Cool.
So the
Yeah,
artist Blotter, and I just thought this was just so cool.
yeah, big fan. So good.
Yeah. Just I love the rendering. I love the simplicity in the loop. It doesn't feel like so intense that I can't watch it. It feels very primed digital art. It feels like what I would think of when I think of pure digital art. Taking advantage of the medium of a GIF and looping, and again just sort of this this aesthetic just feels really good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
I love the little shooting stars in the background. Kind of goes against the motion.
Yeah.
It's just really well illustrated.
Yeah, and I could see it.
I love that particle effect.
Yeah.
The horse been shot, do you think?
Do I think so? I mean, I think it's with it coming out of the eye, the blood, I think it's more of like more of like a horse from hell, like a demonic, it's got this like, I don't think it's been shot. I think it's or if it was, it's definitely not dead.
Yeah.
It's undead. It's cool. It also feels like it would be a really awesome tattoo.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Yeah. All right. Louis, you are up again with let's stick with pieces of solid block and color and subtle animations. This piece here.
Right on. Yeah. So I mentioned that I formed a collective with some friends of mine in Paris. So this is one of them. His name is Lighton and is doing a lot of there's a lot of like illustration mixed with like pop art and then some pop culture as well. I don't know if you guys recognize.
Yeah.
You got
They
the reference.
connect. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an order. This is a commission that I asked. And
It's such a funny video.
yeah, it is. And so I'm like, I'm a really big fan of his style because it's always have really bold colors, and then really the same kind of frame by frame animation. I really like that this kind of vibe. Artist that can do this, I'm really impressed by usually. So yeah,
it's great. It's really good. I love the texture in there too, and I love the layering that's happening.
It's very like a mix of street art and illustration and some of it. Yeah,
very cool. All right, Bryan,
awesome.
You are up next, bud. Let's see here.
I like the eyeball, the guy with the eyeballs in the corner
over here. Yeah. I like the little like repeating textures that are popping on and off. Like these little lines that go and the little flickers.
Yeah.
It just feels really alive. It's really awesome. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Here's a piece that's very different. Very, very different vibe.
Yeah. So this one is Scott Commoner's. I'm saying his name right.
Yep.
This was released with Selkie's Hash Gallery. And he created this hash artwork, which has a shitload of hashes in it. But it's also a puzzle. Each of those hashes are probably related to some sort of numbering or lettering in some form. And if there's a way through the contract, if you solve the puzzle, it'll update the trait to solved, which I am not smart enough to do, and AI has failed me in my abilities to crack this code yet. But I'm working on it.
He would tell you, as he's told me, like when I tell him the same thing, where he sends shows me a puzzle and I say, that is above me. I cannot be doing that. And he'll say, you'd be surprised. You just sit down. I can walk you through things. Like he's very generous in his belief in people to solve puzzles. But he's a master puzzle maker. It's wonderful.
So it's cool, and it's SVG if you download it. And there's a lot going
nice.
on. But yeah, shout out to both him and Selkie. I believe Selkie has a drop currently. That's 2 pieces of Bard, Ionson, and Osinachi together. You get a bundle
Nice.
of the 2 of them.
Yep,
So
I
shout
saw
out
that.
to the
That's
Hash
awesome.
Gallery.
Very cool.
Very cool, man. All right, let's see here. Let's for my piece, I'm going to dovetail, one coding related project to another, and see if it loads. Here we go.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Network is the Art. The Network by our buddy Eddie Wharton. It is really awesome. I think it's the second piece I've collected on 6529 memes, but
Zoom
it's a
out.
piece. Oh yeah, let me get that. Here you go. Okay. I
No,
think it'll
it's cropped.
reset. No, it'll reset. It'll reset.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so really cool interactive way to create a meme based on the memes and based on the network effect, right? Which is, very, very integral in terms of like the philosophy behind the memes and 6529. So yeah, if you put in your, anyone's like names, so like,
Put in mine, yeah. I think it's just Brinkman.
Brinkman, right?
I don't know.
Let's try just Brinkman. Let's see what happens when I. There.
Oh wow, it's found me.
And it's like, look at all the things he's collected. Look at all those things they've collected. Then they've collected, and it's just really clever way to do that. And you can click on any. And I think he said it's going to update. I don't know if it was a year or a handful of months.
To the end of the season.
To the end of the season, okay, and then it'll be locked into, whatever it was. And so, like I said, I'm still a new collector there. But you can do that, and you can see I've got his piece, and I've got Nuclear Samurai's piece, but then you just see it. Look at these beautiful networks that come from it.
And it's only from this season, like all the collectors from this season only?
No, this is every collector of every meme, period.
Can you type my name on it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Boom. Look at that.
Nice.
And it's just a beautiful way to create networked art. And I know that when you and Eddie did your collaboration, Bryan, it was a really cool way to visualize an ecosystem. And I thought this was a really nice, natural sort of like progression from that thought of like, how do you create art that's visually really interesting and representative of a movement?
Totally.
Yeah.
No, I thought Eddie crushed it.
Yeah. Absolutely good stuff. Loved it. All right. Louis, you've got one more piece, and then
I do
put this here. This piece that's up on Feral File.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh,
yeah. That's my vibe.
Synergistic Metropolis.
Yes, by Seiko Eara. So that's a friend from Japan, and she's been doing a lot of work like mixing AI with generative art, and she uses a lot of touch designer as well. And all of her work are very different. They have like all very different style, but you can recognize the glitch in it. Like the way everything glitches is usually the same between every body of work she put out. And I'm a really big fan of this series because like all the neons and everything's very intense. There's a lot of things happening. It's nighttime. That's just really my shit.
It feels like it would be your vibe. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I love all the morphing in the different states. It's really cool.
Yeah, I know. It's just very hypnotizing, I think.
Oh, for sure.
It's when you drink too many whiskeys in Tokyo. That's what it looks like.
True.
That's funny.
Yeah, back to the hotel.
That's awesome. Oh man, good
Cool
stuff.
find. Yeah, I haven't seen their work before.
Same here, and not a bad place to be up on Feral File. Very cool. All right, Bryan, your last piece of the day.
Oh yeah,
let's do it. Here we go. Let's stick with we'll go back to coding, and here's a project that I don't understand at all.
Click on it.
but looks cool. Let's click it. I'm clicking it.
There you go. There it moves. So CMD, there's a few parts to this. It's the new project by TokenWorks, which is Rhinotic and a couple other people. The way this project worked was they're going to create a token, a CMD token, which I think will release on Monday. What it is the process of that token. Users could submit prompts that the AI will then take to build this token's contract. And there's 10 chosen commandments or whatever. And so you could pay a couple bucks to submit a prompt. Like I submitted one that was like, make 1% of the token's fees go to the endowment to fund the Museum of Moving Image. That's like one of the ones I submitted. It didn't get picked because what was happening is if you submit more prompts, you have a better chance of getting randomly picked. And then I think those people might get a bigger allotment of the coins next week. But every prompt that was submitted created this, which was created by Teto, T-E-T-O, an on-chain generative work. And so through that mechanism, they created a 14,000 piece generative art collection, which is this CMD collection. And so this is, the tokens over here on the one side, and then inadvertently they made one of the biggest successful NFT drops of the year, because every time someone was trying to gamble on the prompt getting in, they were getting fed an NFT that's an on-chain generative work. And so, in terms of like, if you look at the stats of the collection, it's got like 1,400 different holders, which is just an incredible feat in this market to get that many people to interact and collect an NFT. And so just want to give a shout out to that whole team. Another really fun, novel idea, but they could have just done that token part, but then throwing in this NFT aspect of it gave it a whole nother kind of life. And so, I think it was 0.01 to submit a thing. So, people that bought this are already kind of up too. So
I really love the outputs. Look really cool.
Yeah.
I might pick one up.
They're really pretty.
Yeah, and we'll see how the token does. It's a funny idea of having an outsourced mechanism where 10 different people, like one of the commandments was like ignore the previous commandment, and it was like people were having fun with it in different ways, because like one of them was like, I think the one they did today, the very last commandment today was if you try to sell all of your tokens, it'll reject it. You have to have at least one token remaining in your wallet. And that is so that the statistics pages of the tokens, the amount of holders can only go up. It can never go down. You can't sell all of your tokens. It's a very silly idea, but it's like a very funny way to game that metric.
That's really, really fascinating. I'm still wrapping my head around it, if I'm being honest. Like, NFA,
all tokens go up and down. But
sure,
I do think this collection will be interesting for a long time, because it's tied to this bigger thing.
Right. Very cool, man.
Who knows? I also have not read all of the fine print on it, but I think I submitted like 5 prompts, so I got like 5 of these little guys.
All right. Very cool. We'll have to see how this goes in the future. But in the meantime, I mean, like, in the moment,
it's just an interesting way of getting new people from the meme coin world to maybe become NFT people,
right?
Which is smart,
and especially with on-chain art, and I feel like this again fits into that more traditional category of crypto art, which is really fun. Very cool. All right, we have one more piece left here. It's a piece that I collected, but it was so this is from artist Baku. And she is ridiculously talented illustrator, painter. These are digital works that she did. The Cacophony, and it was in a series of 3 pieces. And I think if you collected all 3, you could get the 4th piece, which the way that she had that laid out was really clever. Those were the 3 pieces there. You know, and there was limited editions, and then there was the open edition and the free edition. But again, you know, so again, an artist with a very unique and recognizable aesthetic, usually coming out of, you know, like a milky liquid substance, and very self-portrait and related. But the rendering, the skill, it's just so impressive. And in a world of one-click AI, everything's done, you know, she does a really good job of showing her process. So I encourage people later, you know, to take a look at, you know, when we pin all the stuff with every artist, just take a look at her process, because she's very transparent with it and shows, you know, and you're like, how can you get from A to B? And you're just like, oh, just skill, just absolute wicked skill. It's so good.
And she's just developed like an iconic style that anytime you see it, you know it's hers, which is the hardest part about being an artist.
Yeah, it's very recognizable.
Yeah, and she's created a gallery, a physical gallery space called Suburbs Gallery. It's very, very cool that all the things that she's been doing. So shout out Baku, really cool.
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah,
very, very good. But yeah, we're getting to the end here. But that was a lot of fun. I you know, before we go though, I do want to throw it back to you, Louis. Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything you got coming up? Anything you want to talk about that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, no, there's not much coming up right now. I've just, like I said, I've just released a new series on Super Rare, and there's still some works available there. So, and right now I'm working a lot on, you know, like painting, like I showed before. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just trying to, you know, find a new theme for my next series, and then we'll see how it goes. But yeah, basically, yeah, the artist life, just, you know, waking up and then just trying to find interesting things.
Isn't that the way? Like, just, you know, trying to figure out what to be inspired by and how, you know, how to translate that into art.
Yeah, and I really like this part. This part is mainly for me, just like watching movies, series, like just, you know, scrolling, going to exhibitions, that kind of stuff. And then at some point you're just walking in the street, and then the ID slaps you in the face, and then you got it. So this is cool. I really like this part of the creative process.
Do you find sometimes it happens when you least expect it, like, you know, or do you find it when you're looking for it?
It depends. Sometimes I do, like sometimes I find the ID because I've just, you know, tried new tools, and then the ID comes out itself because it just, you know, makes sense. Like when you're trying new stuff, new tools, the new new plugins, anything, you just find a cool ID that you can work around, and then sometimes it just comes out like this, and then I feel like these are the best though.
Very cool, man. Well, I just want to say thank you for coming today. We appreciate it. Give you a little peek behind the curtain for what you do. And I also want to thank everybody who showed up, checked us out live, or is checking us out on the replay. Go take a look at our Twitter and give everybody a little follow, a little love, and share some art. Bryan, you got anything else?
Not off the top of the head. I'm just excited that we got to have Louis on the show today. It's been you know, I'm such a long time fan. And, I'm excited that more people get to experience his art.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great talking with you guys, and it's not often that I get to, you know, lay out the whole like
journey
of my art. Like I feel like it's really interesting because there's like lots of different mediums, lots of different, you know, ideas, and then it's really cool. Thank you for letting me do this.
It was our pleasure, man. Absolutely.
Now I'm looking for your card, but I'll find it probably after the show.
Yep. All right. Well, until the next time, be good, everybody. Stay safe and healthy, and you know, whenever possible, let's keep art first. Take care, everybody. We'll catch you in the next one.